Alright, so this is like the 20th take of this video that I've done because I was outside, but my neighbor turned up and I got embarrassed. So I decided to come inside and do it like, now standing in a really awkward part of my bedroom, but that's alright. I will figure this out as I go. I found my partner resurrected our GoPro, her GoPro, not ours. And so hopefully the video quality is much better this time. If I actually ever figure out how to upload it onto YouTube. So this is just an update video. I wanted to update on where I'm at. I'm 5 days out until my 1 year man-iversary. So my 1 year on testosterone. And so that's really exciting. I get to do some potentially super manly things on my birthday. Who knows what that is. Also, I'm leading up to chest surgery on the 12th of July, which is just under 5 weeks away. Actually, it's 5 weeks today, I think. 5 weeks today, something like that. So, I guess I'll just do a video about, how I'm preparing for that, because I put quite a lot of work into that. So, firstly though, thanks everybody for your amazing words and encouragement about my last few videos that I put up. It's been really cool to hear people's feedback, and I've heard a few stories as well of people going through similar stuff, and it's just really cool. So I didn't really realize when I started video blogging what kind of impact it would have on me, and so far it's been like a pretty cathartic process. Like I've been managing to do a bit of healing around some of that stuff, so thanks everyone for that. Also, yeah, the last couple of videos I put up, I had like a lot of old emotions reappear from that time when I was going through all that before I came out at work, and what it was like for me coming out and then waiting for everyone's like a response. And yeah, that brought up a lot of old emotions that I probably wouldn't have processed otherwise. Because I don't know if I would have revisited that time. So that was really cool. It took me about a week. I had like a week of anxiety and reliving a whole lot of stuff, and which is horrible, but by now I kind of recognize this as part of the process, is getting through some of those emotions and moving forward and growing. And yeah, so this process seems to add to that, which is great. So back to what I was going to do this about. So the update. So leading up to surgery, I've had to prepare financially a lot for this, because my line of work as a clinician, I'm a contractor, and also I'm just a casual staff at university. So the amount of teaching and work I have to do to lead up to this is a lot. So I've been working like 50 plus hours a week for most of this year, and I need to basically prepare financially for the actual surgery, the cost of the surgery, and I need to prepare for 6 weeks where I have no income, and being able to pay bills and keep on top of my credit card and stuff like that. And so that seems to be going okay. That seems to be going pretty well. Thanks to working so much. Would you like to pay a visit? Come on then. Whoa. Yeah. So this is my dog. This is Benny coming up for a visit. You gonna say hi? Okay, ready, up, down. No, they're crazy. I need to walk them. Anyway, yes. So that seems to be going okay. I guess one of my fears is that I will get to 2 weeks after I come home and run out of money and have to ask for it or redraw a loan or something like that. But I just have to be open to that if it gets to that. Like a true Virgo, I like to be on top of my shit and be in control of everything. And that includes things like cleaning and cooking, and I like to be busy and doing things. And I'm going to have to really take a step back and receive help. And I'm open to that, but it'll be a good process for me to go through, I think, if it comes to that. So, yes, financially it's happening. Physically, I've been putting a lot of effort in to training. And so I'm a power lifter, but I had a competition in April this year, and after that I switched to like bodybuilding, to kind of get some definition in my muscles and to grow a good chest, and also to recomposition. So I've also been dieting for this surgery as well, so I get some good results, and to kind of help the surgeon figure out what to do. I mean, I know he doesn't need that, but I feel like I'll get some good results if I pay attention to, say, my body fat percentage, and also growing some of these muscles. It's also like a good challenge for me to do, and I always like doing that. So my powerlifting coach has been guiding me through the bodybuilding process, and it's working pretty well. So I train 6 days a week for at least an hour, and in my sessions I'll do 2 full body days a week which aids recomposition, and I also do 2 chest days a week, which is just working on my chest muscles, bench press and things like that. And I'll do an arm day. I just literally get a bicep pump, which is fun. And I'll do a back day as well, which is painful, but good. And so far, it's working really well. So that coupled with the dieting, I basically have been working with a nutritionist for about 6 months, or maybe 7 months now. And we worked up to a diet of 4,000 calories a day, which was mostly, both high protein, high carbs, and some fats. And then I was doing that. I was on a 4,000 calorie a day diet for about 2 months. And then after my competition, I started cutting down the calories. So I went down to 3,500, then I went down to 3,000, and currently I'm sitting on 2,700 calories a day, which is still probably more than I was eating before. And I've noticed a big difference. So I've noticed a big difference recompositioning, like doing the recomposition process in my body. So I've noticed that I've got a lot more tone in especially my upper body. And I've built a lot more muscle, and so it's definitely paying off. It's definitely working, and I'm pretty excited to see the results as we go. So I've still got another 5 weeks until surgery, so I've still got like another 5 weeks of training, and recomposition. So it'd be pretty good to see what happens. I get body scans every 3 weeks, which measure the amount of muscle, the amount of fat, and the amount of bone, and the amount of water in your body. And they're called in-body scans. They're really good. They're really accurate. And I'll probably do a video on those at some point as well. And I've also been preparing for surgery using supplements. So some of the supplements that I use for surgery, I have a baseline supplementation to cope with like all the changes with testosterone. Like I take antioxidants, and I take B vitamins, and I take magnesium, like minerals and things like that too. And so leading up to surgery, I want to get my vitamin E profile a little bit higher. So I started taking, if you can see that, I started taking this supplement, which is vitamin E and selenium in it, and it seems pretty good. And I've also started taking chlorella, alright, which is just a green. It's a type of algae, and just stimulates your liver, gets things going. I also take milk thistle. That's a really good supplement. And this just looks like a big bag of white powder, because it is. And I've been taking diatomaceous earth, or silica powder. And so I feel like if I build up the profile of these nutrients in my body pre-surgery, that will help my healing. Also, I don't want to take like 1,000 supplements after surgery. So I'm just kind of building those profiles up first. And I also have a bunch of supplements that I'll take after surgery as well to help heal. And I'll do a video on those at some point, maybe even when I'm in America. The other thing I've had to do to prepare is I've had to do a lot of emotional processing around the idea of surgery, and also mentally processing the idea of surgery. So I've had surgery in my life, but I only had that when I was a baby, so I'd have no memory of that at all. And I've never been under general anaesthetic, and again, because I'm a Virgo, I like have control issues. So the idea of losing control or letting go of control and letting other people take over, especially when I'm out, I've got no say, is kind of scary. It really freaked me out for a really long time. So I was really nervous, really apprehensive, and just fucking scared. I was just really scared about having to have surgery for this stuff. I think it also makes you like a little bit bitter about having to do it. So I'm a man inside, and I just happen to be in this fucking female body, and this surgery is a necessary step for me to live and breathe and work and function as the human that I am in the world. And to do that, I have to knock myself out and cut my boobs off. And so for me, for a while, I was pretty bitter about that. And I guess what I come back to always is remembering that that's what this whole process is about. It's about becoming me. And taking testosterone and waiting for it to work is another example of having to go through this process to become myself. And it's not a waiting game. It isn't a waiting game. So this whole time, I've been processing who I am, where I've been, what I believe in, what I want to be. And this whole chest surgery thing is another way to do that. It's just a little bit more intense because it's more acute. It's more of an event. And so mostly what's come up for me is fear and the bitterness of having to do these things to myself. And also, I guess, having to do it yourself. There's no coverage. So, as in, there's no health insurance that covers my top surgery. There's no financial security around it either. So, I have to fund myself, and I have to get to this place, and I have to have this done to me to make the next step. And I guess when I look at it from that perspective of it's all about growing and becoming, it makes me much more excited, okay? Because I think I'm going to learn a lot about myself going through chest surgery and learning to surrender and also trusting in other people's skills. I think I'm going to learn more about myself doing that than obviously if I don't do it, or obviously if it was an easier process, or if I'd just been born a man. So I'm excited about it when I think of it like that. I'm also excited about the challenge around healing. So the challenges will be resting and stopping, and it'll be seeing basically the challenge of what, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, how do I manage my swelling? How do I manage the bruising? How do I manage the pain? How do I do little things every day that keep me sane and getting through that? So I'm kind of excited about that as well. So basically what I did to process that, I just sort of like acknowledged the feelings. I talked to my partner about it. I'm scared about going under and things like that. And what I do these days is I tend to just commit that message to my subconscious. So I sort of stop thinking about it, but without burying it like I used to do, without blocking it off or putting it under the rug. And what seems to happen is I do that for a while, grapple with it for a while without like really getting fucked up about it. And then what kind of happens is after a while, new things kind of spring to my head, like, oh, like, what it will be like when I have a new chest. What, like, we're going to a wedding in November. What will that be like without having boobs, and just reminding myself why I'm doing all this training and why I'm getting ready to go. So, yeah, so it's been like a long process of mentally, emotionally, and physically preparing for chest surgery. It's brought up a lot of stuff. It brings up a lot of stuff about being born female and growing up, feeling weird, and I'm going to do another video on that. It brings up a fair bit about looking after yourself and backing yourself as well. So, granting yourself the process of earning enough money to go and not sabotaging yourself physically or emotionally as well. And not burdening those people around you that you rely on, holding on to your own shit and dealing with it, and getting the help you need from people. So I see a lot of therapists, different types of therapists, and I'll do a video on that too, to help me get through all this stuff. So yeah, it's been a process. So I'm going to leave it there because this is like a 15-minute video. It's crazy. And I'll do another video on some other stuff later. So thank you.